Do you want to know how to not let your emotions control you? I'm Nicholeen Peck. I'm a communications and relationships expert, and in this video, we're going to be talking about your emotions and how to make sure you maintain the control. Our emotions can control us. In fact, it feels so disempowering when we plan, nope, it's not going to happen this time. I'm not going to get emotional in that minute. And then you do again. Trust me, I know what that feels like. I'm actually a really emotional person. I could really fall into drama. I can get going. I'm strong-willed. I can argue. In fact, I've had a history of doing a lot of those things. But years ago, when I started doing treatment foster care for troubled teens, and when I had little babies of my own who were very strong-willed, just like their mama and their daddy, I knew that I needed new skills. So I started developing skills for myself and for my foster children that would lead us all to self-government. So self-government is a deliberate process of deciding who you want to become and then examining yourself and cause and effect along your way so that you make sure that you are controlling yourself in the minute and reaching your full potential, or at least going in that direction on a regular basis. So one of the big things that I had to learn how to do was control my emotions. I knew I needed a plan for success. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my plan for success. It's so important that you prepare to be successful. I think many of us have desires to change some of our, more negative behaviors that we don't want to do. But if we don't ever deliberately make a plan for ourselves, we're always going to fall for the same old behavior problem again and again. So what type of a plan is going to work for you depends on what you do the moment you start to lose it. What do you do when you're about to lose control? When you know you're catering to those emotions, what is it that happens to you? Do you clench your fists, or maybe you clench your teeth shut? Do you think a certain thought in your head again and again? Do you squint your eyes? Do you point your finger? What is it that you do when your emotions are starting to get the better of you? I know some people pace, some people can't think clearly, and that's a sign for them. You've got to know what it is that you do when you're starting down that road where you are going to lose emotional control. If you don't plan that out, then you won't be able to stop yourself in the minute. So I determined that when I was about to lose emotional control, I would get this feeling in the pit of my stomach, kind of like a knot. In fact, I decided that that little knot in my stomach meant, no, don't do it. You're going to go over the edge. So I decided that that was going to be my stopping place. When things were happening and I was about to lose control and I felt, no, I wasn't going to give in to no, which sometimes seemed like a good idea because I knew that if I gave in and I got aggressive and let my emotions fly, I might feel good for a minute, but then afterward, always the guilt would come. And I don't want that to happen on a regular basis. So I told myself, that's a no. And when you feel that no, you give yourself a no answer. Now, in the Teaching Self-Government Parenting course, which is on my website, teachingselfgovernment.com, I teach 4 basic skills that parents need to learn for themselves and they need to teach their children. They are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. So when a person is self-governed, they can do all 4 of those things. In fact, they give themselves no answers and instructions on a regular basis, and they follow through. So I was essentially giving myself and my emotions a no answer. How do you accept a no answer? You look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, and then drop the subject. So when I'm looking at my emotions, that's like looking at a person or the situation. I keep a calm face, voice, and body. And then I say to myself, okay, that is the no answer. I told myself that was a no, and it's a no. And so then I drop the subject and I stop thinking about that. But that means that I've got to change my thoughts and go in a good productive direction instead. So that's the next thing that we do to not let our emotions control us, is we plan what comes after we give ourselves a no answer. So first you recognize this is how I feel emotion, or this is right before I'm gonna blow it or lose it. Then I give myself a no answer is number 2. And number 3 is then we've got to plan the dialogue that we're gonna have within ourselves so that we move in a productive forward direction. So what is it that I'm going to be telling myself that I need to do instead of using those emotions that I know are not going to be good? Well, one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be challenging some of those initial thoughts I had that led to that emotion in the first place. So maybe I felt someone was attacking me. So instead of thinking they're attacking me, I think no, drop the subject on the emotion. What are they really doing? They want to be understood, and they think I'm not understanding them. So I think I will give them a phrase that I've planned ahead of time that shows them that I do understand. And one of those phrases that I share all the time is, I can tell you want to tell me something, that we need to discuss something right now. But before we can discuss it, we need to choose to be calm first. Then we can talk about it. I have a rule that I will not talk about something. I won't try to solve a problem unless I can be calm first. It's always worth taking a few seconds to get calm. Sometimes our emotions get us all bound up, and we think that our emotions have to control us every time, but it's usually because we're rushing. Don't go so fast. When you feel that cue, slow down. Even stop yourself for a second. It's okay if you even have to tell another person, you know what, I'm going to go get calm for a second and then we can talk about this. That actually shows self-government. It's powerful, and it's a really good example to other people around you too. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you are choosing strength, greater strength than is required just to follow some emotion. You don't want your emotions to control you anymore. They don't have to. But you need to make a plan for yourself so that they don't. Before I share my next point with you, subscribe to the channel. New videos just like this and better come out on this channel every single day, and you don't want to miss them. Hit subscribe now. This system that I just shared with you for how to not let your emotions control you does work. I promise, it's worked for me for so many years. But there is so much more I could share with you. When I teach people about self-government and about controlling themselves, it is like a 3-day, we're talking full days, 3-day training. So I want to share with you another class that will help take this learning to the next level for you. There is a link here for the expectation trap versus the cycle for success. Click on that class right now and take your education about self-government to a whole new level.